Welcome back to Toko's Reviews. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the DJI Mini 2. Is it really worth it? I'll leave that primary up to you, but watch this review so you can learn more about it. So during my setup to do the review on the DJI Mini, it attracted a lot of attention. A lot of locals was coming over to check it out. So in case if you guys are wondering, what makes the DJI Mini 2 different than the first Mini when it came out a few years ago? My previous review a few years ago on the DJI Mini when it first came out, it was pretty cool. It was new to the game, it was new to the world, and being so light that you didn't have to register it with the federal government, which was pretty interesting, right? Well, now DJI launched the DJI Mini 2. It's been out for a bit now, and I finally got my hand on one, and now I'm playing around with it, and I have my own personal input of what I really think about the DJI Mini 2. But first, let's talk about the specs, and then we'll get to the good and the bad. So we're going to talk about three categories here about the spec. We're going to talk about the DJI Mini 2 spec, the DJI Mini 2 camera spec, and then we're going to talk about the DJI Mini 2 flight mode. So first thing I want to talk about is the price. This is $449. My advice is if you want to get something a little bit better, get the Fly More combo. At least you get extra batteries and some extra stuff just in case if you crash the drone, if you know what I mean. Now, the flight time on this on the battery is 31 minutes. On the previous DJI Mini, it was only 30 minutes. So there's a 1 minute difference. But guys, the honest truth is it will vary here and there. The range is 10,000 meters. Now this can go up further than the other DJI Mini. Before it was 4,000, now it's 10,000. This does have the transmission system called the OcuSync 2.0, which has the dual band controller for better signal and also data transferring. If you guys didn't know about that, now you know. This weighs under 0.54 pound. In grams, it is right under 250 gram. And just because of that 249 gram on the DJI Mini 2, you don't have to register this with the federal government, which is pretty cool, right? The max speed is 35 miles per hour. Keep in mind, going against and going with the wind, your speed can vary. So just be careful before this little drone gets carried away when you're out there flying, you know, in far distance. It does have obstacle avoidance sensor only in the bottom. You know, for DJI to do this, to have it go out that far out, I was hoping that they would give the sensor on the side, the top, but beside that, they gave it in the bottom. I'm still trying to understand why they did that. Anyways, they still have the special feature that we love. You know, it is lightweight, so you have to register, and it does have DJI Quick Shot. Does it make a difference? I don't know. Now, it does have phone charging, which is interesting, but it doesn't have takeoff and landing light, and it doesn't have internal storage. But it does have our favorite features like quick video download to smartphone, if that makes a difference. Now we're going to jump into the DJI Mini 2 camera spec. This does have the 3-axis gimbal. It does have 12 megapixel, and it also, the sensor size is a 0.3, which is not bad for a small drone with a small camera. Now the max frame rate recording in 1080p resolution is 60 frames per second. The max frame rate at 4K resolution is 30 frames per second. Now the max video bitrate is 100 megabits per second, which is pretty cool. This does have a fixed focus lens, so it's a f2.8. So this is equivalent to a focal length of a camera, if you guys have lenses out there, to a 24 millimeter lens. Now the diagonal FOV on this is 83. It doesn't have HDR, but it does have raw photo, which is a plus for me for editing. It doesn't have hyperlight, that's a bummer. And it does have a panoramic photo wide at 180 spear, if that makes a difference. Now the camera feature on this is 4K. Okay, we do know it does have the 3-axis gimbal, and it's under 250 gram. To be exact with the weight, it's actually 249 grams. Just because of that 1 gram difference, you don't have to register this with the federal government. I just wanted to mention that to you guys again, so you guys understand this is considered as a toys, not a actual drone to be registered. Now, the DJI Mini 2 flight mode, we all know this doesn't have anything related to APES, point of interest, waypoint, tap fly, active zoom, but it does have, no, sorry, active track, but it does have zoom 2 times and 4 times digital. Now, going to quick shot, it doesn't have asteroid, which is a bummer, but it does have boomerang, helix, drone, rocket, circle, and it does have dolly zoom. Why did DJI didn't include this to make the Mini 2 better from the previous Mini? I do not know. Now, as far as hyperlapse, this doesn't have anything like that. Even the first Mini, when it first came out, in my previous review, I talked about how it doesn't have that. So either. This is my personal opinion of why I think the DJI Mini 2 is better than the DJI Mini first generation. It does take way better video quality, as you can see here, in 4K when taking it video from on high, as you can see here. I did take some video in 4K in low light situation, and it didn't come out well as shown here. Guys, my honest opinion here, the bad on this is, the honest truth is, when I was shooting 4K video image, as you can see here, quality, there was a lot of noise and a lot of grain in the background, and I think that's due to the little sensor on the DJI Mini 2 camera. And I truly believe if there was more light in the background, I truly believe that the little camera at f2.8 on the DJI Mini 2 would actually do better than the image that you see here at night if there was more light in the background. So guys, just before I wrap it up, I just wanted to point this out. The DJI Mini 2 does take better picture because of the 12 megapixel camera, and it does shoot in 4K, and it does have the obstacle avoidance sensor in the bottom, and it has level 5 wind resistant, if that makes a difference. As testing it out, I didn't really see any difference beside the camera quality versus the Mini first generation when it came out a few years ago. And guys, if you guys like content like this, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you guys have any comments or any questions, drop it down below. And if you guys are new to my channel or a returned viewer, I would appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button. That would definitely help me out to further make videos and content like this for all you guys to see. And I will probably leave the decision up to you if this is worth getting. My personal advice is get the Fly More Combo Edition with the extra battery and the extra stuff that you need for later on. And like always guys, all this from Douglas Reviews. Peace.